Hey everyone, it's Paranormal 201. It's Wednesday. We're talking about how to make sure that your team is not using their phones or smartwatches on an investigation. So there's a lot of interference when phones are not on Do Not Disturb and airplane mode. So this is typically what we do. Say there's 10 people, and it's a touchy subject because a lot of people are really attached to their phones. And a lot of people might have emergencies, this, that. So what we want to do is we want to keep the person who might have the emergency or the most emergencies, for example, have their phone turned on, but in your car. Or at home base, if it's a big location, you can go ahead, have it on Do Not Disturb, tucked away at home base, away from the investigation. Those are the two best places to keep your, let's say it's the safety phone. In case something happens, you can run to home base, or if it's a private if it's a private residence, you can run out to the car. It's there in case of an emergency or you need something. Okay. Now that that's settled, let's say there's 10 people and you have one phone that's either at home base if it's a big location, or in the car if it's a private residence. Now there's 9 phones. Now you're gonna hear the emergency thing, and I didn't charge my phone, because what we're gonna try and do is we're gonna try and get these 9 people to put their phones on airplane mode, Do Not Disturb, and we're gonna put it on the audio recorder app that is pretty standard on iPhones, and I'm sure on Android because I've seen it. So you want to make sure that you preface this with, hey everyone, during paranormal investigations we don't use phones. We make sure they're on airplane mode or Do Not Disturb, but we will have one phone in the car or at home base if it's a big location on Do Not Disturb mode, and that's going to be for emergencies only, because essentially all of the frequencies that are emitted from the phone are going to mess people up. It could mess with technology in the house. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have seen, this is actually just a huge pet peeve of mine. This is just a paranormal pet peeve. But there are people that say that they don't have their phones, but they do, and it's on vibrate, and it lights up, or their watch lights up or vibrates. It's the worst thing in the world. This is obviously exaggerated, but this is just a paranormal pet peeve of mine. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that they are on Do Not Disturb airplane mode on the static audio recorder app, and they're distributed throughout the location, whether it's a big location or it's a private residence. Now that's 9 different audio recorders going. Guess what? You had to 9, good audio recorders could range from $30 to $50. Let's just, for example's sake, be $50. That's $450. You just saved because you got rid of the phone problem and you're able to capture more of the location. Imagine having 9 different audio recorders, and you have your recorder note where they all are. So if you hear a loud noise or a weird growl in the upstairs, figure out whose phone's up there and try and get that audio evidence. I mean, that's cool stuff. And the biggest thing is they can go home with a little piece of that investigation. I know sometimes one person gets all the evidence and maybe tries to upload it, or just, has a hard copy of it all, but they will always have a piece of that evidence on their phone, of course, unless they delete it. But audio recordings doesn't take up that much room, so they always have a little piece of that evidence with them on their phones. It's a really cool idea. So basically, how to prevent someone from being troublesome for using their phones. Number 1, you gotta remind them that there is no phones. It's a big policy. There's no phones, nothing of that sort. And number 2, you got to make sure that they know that we're going to use the phone, and they know that it has to be charged. I've run into people that are very, very troublesome when it comes to not using their phones during investigations, and you just can't do that. It will ruin it. It will ruin it if you have your phone, if you're using it. Now, I know there are some groups that really enjoy using the apps, like the phone apps. That's a totally another topic. But if you're a group that swears by it, thank goodness. Please continue to use it. Do whatever you need to do, whatever you enjoy. But put it on airplane mode, do not disturb at least, because that's not going to, take any... Those apps aren't going to use the internet at all. So, at least you're not going to have it vibrating or anything. And if there's any emergencies, please make sure that your phone is the one that's on Do Not Disturb, but on at home base or in the car. And you can go out to the car every different rotation and check to see if there's some kind of potential emergency. Or every time you go to home base, you can check it. But not all 10 people are going to have the emergency. We need to have our senses locked in on the investigation. We all need to be present during this experience. We're here for a reason. For private residences, we're here to help people. We're here to gather information, gather evidence to help these people. And you've got all your other teammates that are trying to have this once-in-a-lifetime experience, which is paranormal investigating. I'm coming across as a strict dad or something like that, but it's just my paranormal pet peeve. So that's the two-prong approach. You tell them straight up about the no phone policy. We're gonna have one phone at home base of the car, depending on if it's a big location or a private residence, as an emergency phone. And secondly, you want to make sure that they have it charged, because we're going to be using it for the audio recorder, a static audio recorder throughout the location, whether it be a home or a big location. Make sure that they got their phones charged. Before the drive up, during the drive up, make sure that phone's charged. We need to use this. This is investigation time. The leaders probably put in close to 3 to 10 hours on this investigation. You've got people that gave up their plans, that put hard money into this investigation. This is a big deal to a lot of people. If you don't take it seriously, you got to at least respect the other people. So as a leader, that's how I deal with the no phone policy. It's very hard. I have run into issues where people are very, very hooked on their phone, very protective of their phone, and I've run into people who don't charge their phone. But we gotta use your phone for the static audio. That's the point. So as long as you're clear on those 2 points, the no phones, and that we're using them for the static audio, I think you should be fine. I don't think there should be any disciplinary acts necessary. But if it's a serious problem, you should probably invite that member out to breakfast or lunch and have a serious one-on-one conversation. You don't need to create any drama. You don't need to have any confrontations. But just take them aside and explain to them why it's important. All right. Paranormal pet peeves. I could do a 3-hour lecture on it. But all right, everyone. This is literally how you grow your group. So if you want free up to 9 phones that are used for static audio recorders. Imagine 9 static audio recorders in a house. You can cover that house completely. Airplane mode, do not disturb, got the static audio recorder on. If anything happens in that house, you have a close audio recorder to it, or a big location. We all know there's like Madison Seminary. There's so many places at Madison Seminary. Now you can capture them all. It's literally crazy. This is the good stuff. This is why we do it. And there's no interference. There's no vibrating. What was that? Was that something paranormal? Or was that Jeff's phone? There's no question about it. But you as a leader need to get everyone on board. So, all right, everyone. Paranormal 201, that was Wednesday. Have a great day and a great rest of your week.